Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. So for some reason you haven't heard already, we appreciate you coming to us first. Jimmy Kimmel has been canceled by the Walt Disney Corporation. Yes, boys and girls, the late night host over there on ABC, who was number 2 in the ratings across all of the broadcast networks, not including Greg Gutfeld over there on cable television, of course. But boys and girls, yes, he has been yanked after, of course, just like so many other crazy celebrities out there and so many other people working out there in the cultural industries, boys and girls decided to run their mouth and say something stupid that also was completely and totally untrue by verifiable facts that we have from the people actually investigating on the ground the whole situation behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Well, it didn't take very long before all of this stuff spread all over the world out there. There was a bunch of secret phone calls made and a whole bunch of crazy emails sent out there into the world. And boys and girls, one of those conversations was Jimmy Kimmel, because guess what? After what he said, a bunch of the affiliates out there that carry the Disney Corporation's channels, i.e. ABC, said they refused to air his show anymore. So what did Disney have to do? Disney yanked him indefinitely, boys and girls. So yes, it's true. The Walt Disney Corporation has canceled Jimmy Kimmel, and the juicy details that go on with all of this kind of stuff, and the beauty part of the centricity, the simplicity, the absolute irony, and the poetic justice of the fact that his former partner in crime and in comedy out there just had his podcast hit 500,000 subscribers on YouTube at a time where Jimmy is getting canceled. Boys and girls, I know Adam Carolla will probably not actually do any victory laps over this, but boys and girls, it's absolutely beautiful to see and shows you that God has an absolutely beautiful sense of irony, boys and girls, because as you can see over here from the headline at cosmicbook.news, Jimmy Kimmel pulled indefinitely from ABC after Charlie Kirk comments. And boys and girls, this has been all over the place. Ricky Gervais has made some comments out there. There's some more interesting context over here from That Park Place, as well as some other comments from some CNBC people. And of course, where a lot of this information came from, Deadline itself, with all of their wonderful conversations and everything else. And the reactions around social media have been absolutely hilarious, boys and girls. It's a beautiful thing to see that the culture is actually healing, that people going out there spreading absolute lies, falsehoods, all for the sake of pushing an agenda that helps their quote-unquote side of things out there. Boys and girls are actually suffering the consequences for it, because things have certainly changed. Because I've said it once and I'll say it once again while covering this topic and all of the fallout from it, that this would not have happened in 2017, 18, or 19 during President Trump's first term. Why have things changed? Because the audience, the culture, the fans, the common nerds have changed. They have tuned out and tuned this stuff off. They have seen that Hollywood and all of its affiliates, whether it be the news media, whether it be your government institutions, have been pushing a line of propaganda over and over and over again. And the culture has finally woken up to the BS. And now with this Charlie Kirk death, now even more people have woken up, and there is even more of a knee-jerk reaction. People are not going to put up with your garbage, nasty, vile takes anymore and your outright lies. And even your own networks finally see the writing on the wall, and Disney themselves preemptively pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air indefinitely. And boys and girls, that is a win for common sense returning to the culture. So we're going to check out these articles. We're going to get into all of the juicy details of exactly what's been going on, as well as a few people out there's reaction. And of course, a friendly reminder as to why the side trying to use our own morality against us has literally no foot to stand on whatsoever, boys and girls. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,200. We're sailing our way towards 23 on our journey to 100,000. I think we're sitting at like 2221. And I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, visit the comment in the section down below. Are you happy that Jimmy Kimmel is finally off the air? Are you one of the screaming people out there that are so upset that he got removed for after his remarks that he said that were complete and total falsehoods, but you didn't actually watch his show anyway, but you're going to virtue signal in my comment section? Let us know which side you fall on about this whole situation down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, check out the links in the description down below as well. Oh, all right. From our cosmic book news and our dear sweet friend, Matt McGloin. Jimmy Kimmel Live has been yanked off the air indefinitely after the host made controversial remarks about the assassination of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. On Monday, Kimmel said, "We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and with everything they can to score political points from it." One of them. Now, it's really funny because some asshat over there talking to Deadline is trying to say out there that his one of them was taken out of context. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, exactly how else are we supposed to take that? He's literally referencing MAGA in the conversation, and he's saying it's one of them. Now, you might not get very far into this video. Who knows how many of you are still watching? But if any of you little psychopath activists out there don't know the truth about why this is a lie, we can literally scroll all the way down here to this article to give you the full breakdown on all of this kind of stuff right here. Because authorities confirmed that Tylant Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect charged with this, was living with a male partner who is transitioning to a transgender female. Wow, that really screams MAGA. FBI sources say the partner has been cooperating with the investigators. That's great. Reports also note that the partner's involvement in the furry community, which has added further controversy to the case. Utah Governor Spence Cox said Robinson was a very normal young man who later developed a leftist ideology after appearing to become increasingly radicalized in recent years. Doesn't exactly scream the Make America Great Again crowd, now does it, boys and girls? That's not me saying that. That's not some independent journalist out there on the internet saying that. That's the Utah governor and FBI saying that, boys and girls. So yeah, I think what Jimmy said might be a lie. And considering the fact that CBS got done with their own lawsuit from some of the lies they spewed about President Trump, methinks Disney might not want to find themselves in the same kind of hot seat. ABC confirmed a deadline that the late night show will be preempted indefinitely. Jimmy Kimmel Live will be preempted indefinitely. A Disney spokesperson also confirmed to Fox News. Nexstar, which owns 32 ABC affiliates across the country, also announced that it would stop airing Kimmel's program immediately, citing strong objections to his commentary on Kirk's killing. Now, 32 ABC affiliates, that doesn't sound like a lot when you think about things. But I don't know about you, boys and girls. I grew up in the Kansas City metro area out there. We had one ABC affiliate covering both sides of the line, and the next closest ABC affiliate you were probably going to find was either in St. Louis on the other side of the state or somewhere down around the capital around Jefferson City or maybe Cape Girardeau. So yeah, not exactly a lot of these out there in the country when you think about that. Now, Sinclair Broadcasting, the largest ABC affiliate group, followed suit, revealing it will air a special in remembrance of Charlie Kirk instead. Sinclair leadership demanded that Kimmel issue a direct apology to Kirk family and make a personal donation to Turning Point USA before his show could ever return to its airways. Now, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Grovel, bend the knee a little bit, and admit you're wrong. Is Jimmy Kimmel gonna do that? Oh no. Kimmel made it clear he was unwilling to apologize for his remarks, according to insiders, and was going to direct the focus on President Trump's most fervent supporters who have been in an uproar since Monday night when Kimmel said that MAGA game, we already went over all of that. We hear he was planning to call out some of those supporters while clarifying his comments. Wow. I wonder if the largest ABC affiliate out there, Sinclair Broadcasting, is ever going to air the Jimmy Kimmel Show live ever again. Well, I guess we'll find out. Is the money more important to Jimmy Kimmel and having his show on the air, or are his virtue signaling politics? Guess we'll find out if he's truly down with the cult or if he's going to bend the knee. But as of right now, it looks like he's going to stick with the spirit of the age. I, for one, plus many other people out there, are very happy to see him go. The less toxic poison that's spewed out into the airways of the world, the better, boys and girls. And of course, you've got Sinclair's full statement. Maryland, September 7th. Sinclair, the nation's largest ABC affiliate, objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Mr. Kimmel's remarks were inappropriate and deeply insensitive at a critical moment for our country. We believe broadcasters have a responsibility to educate and elevate respectful, constructive dialogue in our communities. We appreciate the FCC chairman's remarks today, and this incident highlights the critical need for the FCC to take immediate regulatory action to address control held over local broadcasters by big national networks. Which personally, I'm okay with that. Give more of the little guys out there more freedom. Stop letting Disney and the rest of its affiliate, rest of those kind of those kind of networks out there, those studios, control what these local affiliates do. Have you watched your local news lately? Probably not. Most of us don't anymore. But for those of you that do, does it seem like it's any different, the news they cover, than what's covered on CNN or MSNBC? Are their opinions, when you do hear them, are they any different than what they sound like? Do they sound more like Fox News, the Daily Wire, Steven Crowder? Or do they sound more like MSNBC and CNN? I wonder why that is. Because the major corporations control even what your local affiliate spews and covers, boys and girls. That's the insanity of it. So, of course, the FCC chairman, who hasn't been a fan of any of this kind of stuff absolutely at all lately, and specifically requested before Paramount Skydance's merger, the acquisition, whatever you want to call it, went through, they had to settle the lawsuit between the libel and the defamation lawsuit between CBS and President Trump. So, yeah, FCC ain't exactly putting up with you spewing absolute lies out there anymore. The suspension follows remarks from FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, who described Kimmel's comments as some of the sickest conduct possible. Carr warned that regulatory action could be taken if networks failed to hold talent accountable, saying broadcasters must serve the interests of their communities. I'm okay with that statement. I wish he would have used the word customers, but I get where you're coming from on that one, because at the end of the day, we are the customers. Your local community is the customer. And if you're not serving them, well, look at Jimmy Kimmel's ratings over the last few years, over the last decade since he's been on, right? Long are gone the highs of David Letterman and Jay Leno. No, not so much anymore. I mean, even Conan O'Brien did better than this. And of course, Greg Gutfeld crushes every one of them every single night, and it's not even close. And he's on a cable network, which means he has a much smaller base that would actually be able to see him than everybody watching it on their bunny ears or whatever you've got now. I don't know. I stream I have a smart TV and Roku boxes, so I don't even know anymore how you guys do that stuff. And of course, President Trump couldn't help himself either. I don't do a very good Trump, so I'm not going to try, boys and girls. Great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel Show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and are worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. President Donald J. Trump. And of course, the White House is obviously going to echo very much what President Trump said. And of course, rapid response, ABC pulls, Jimmy is a sick freak. They're doing the viewers a favor, obviously. Reports indicate Disney executives were concerned after Kimmel allegedly told the network he planned to address his Charlie Kirk comments again during Monday's opening monologue. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Kimmel planned to address his remarks and explain how they were taken out of context, but was not planning on apologizing. The site added that Kimmel felt he was not needed to require apology. That plan reportedly triggered Disney to pull the plug before the show could even tape. It remains unclear whether Jimmy Kimmel could return to late-night television. Industry insiders via Deadline suggest this could mark a fundamental shift in broadcast television, given Disney's decision to sideline one of its longest-running late-night personalities. Kimmel's remarks have drawn sharp criticism amid national mourning for Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated earlier this month while speaking at Utah. And yeah, there's been a lot of that stuff over here. Obviously, real James Woods out there, an absolutely legendary actor that got completely and totally sidelined and blacklisted by the majority of Hollywood simply because he's a conservative. Remember when Twitter's Jack Dorsey banned the president of the United States from the world's biggest forum during an election? Screw Jimmy Kimmel. And like I said, it's just shout out to Adam Carolla Podcast. Go subscribe if you haven't. He hit 500,000 right as Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. And that's just a beautiful thing to see, boys and girls. But there's a little bit more over here to the conversation as well. Because just hours before film was said to do it right here. This is where it ends from. So this came after the decision was made by Walden and CEO Bob Iger. This came straight from the top, boys and girls. Walden and Iger made this decision to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely to tamp down the controversy. This came straight from the C-suite. And of course, Ricky Gervais' response, this might be useful. Shut up. Yeah, there's a really good idea. There's a really good idea. And I mean, this is insane. So we have no idea if and when Jimmy Kimmel will ever come back. It sounds like he's canceled. It sounds like he's done for forever. It sounds like he has no desire to apologize or talk about anything else or bend the knee in any way, shape, or form or realize he screwed up. And at the end of the day, that's what it always comes down to, right? These psychopaths believe they're right. They really do. They legitimately believe that every single one of the rest of us, we live in the echo chamber. You know, the majority of people out there, the average nerd, the average person out there who love to go see Marvel movies back in the day, the ones that made them $1 billion box offices, the ones that don't go see them anymore because they've turned into the exact same kind of propaganda that Jimmy Kimmel was spewing. How about the people that used to watch all of those television shows, used to give those the top ratings out there? Yeah, the ones that are still interested in a late night television show are watching Greg Gutfeld. So yes, once again, despite what Jimmy Kimmel and a lot of the rest of the Hollywood elites out there believe, they are not the majority, nor have they ever been. And now it took something like this to finally wake them up and make sure that a lot of these corporations could finally read the room. This was a step too far because they are the ones, Jimmy Kimmel included, that have promoted and pushed and sanctioned the ideology that infected the mind of the person who took the life of Charlie Kirk. Because a normal person doesn't do that. It's a psychopath. It's someone who's insane. And it's somebody that sounds like he's been radicalized over just the last few years. And we have seen how much the mainstream media, Jimmy Kimmel included, have doubled down on all of this ideology, calling these people monsters and vile and unhuman and everything else. And now Jimmy Kimmel is actually facing consequences for the spirit of the age that he has promoted forever. And the funny part about it is it came from Disney CEO Bob Iger himself. And boys and girls, that means even Bob Iger realizes that stuff like this is not allowed anymore. Too bad he didn't realize it before Gina Carano got fired. But hey, at the end of the day, boys and girls, a win's a win and a scalp's a scalp. We'll take it where we can get it because Jimmy Kimmel is canceled, ladies and gentlemen, because that is definitely a man who not only danced with the devil, did some very more untoward things that I can't mention on YouTube, completely and totally promoted him, and now he's gotten burned by Disney CEO Bob Iger himself. And ladies and gentlemen, that is beautiful poetic justice. That's a win. And Jimmy Kimmel, enjoy your vacation, buddy. We don't ever want to see you again. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.